surface area of spheres. Now remember, a sphere is just a ball, right? And they usually draw it something like this. It's supposed to look like this. Anyway, let's try that again. Dot, 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 dot. And then they oftentimes give you a radius, right? Let's change the color on that so we can see that's different. Okay, and they give you like a radius of, say, 3 centimeters. Okay, that's our radius. So that's a sphere. But how do we find the surface area? So if you had to paint the whole thing, how much paint would it take? How many square inches or square centimeters or square feet would you need to cover? All right, or if you wanted to wrap it in aluminum foil or whatever you want to do with that ball, what is the surface area of it? Okay, so if you look at your GED formula sheet and you look at sphere, surface area, it says surface area of a sphere equals 4 pi r squared. Okay, so 4 times basically the area of whatever this circle is. All right, so this is just plug and chug. 4 times 3.14 times 3 times 3, right? 3 squared is 3 times 3. All right, put that into our handy dandy calculator. Right, 4 times 3.14 times 3 times 3 equals 113.04. 113.04 centimeters squared. Because it's surface area, it's going to be squared. Okay, so it's really just a plug and chug, right? So it is 4 times pi times the radius squared. Okay, now if they give us the diameter, remember, radius is equal to the diameter divided by 2. Okay, so that equals the radius. If they happen to give us the diameter, remember what the diameter is? Diameter is when they're going from one side all the way to the other side. Okay, so what happens if they give us half a sphere? What? And I'm not so good at drawing these, honestly. Okay, what if they give us half a sphere? So this is supposed to be a ball cut in half. Okay, and they give us that radius, and they say, actually, I'm going to redraw that. Let's try this again. Alright, that was slightly better. Okay, and they give us that radius, right? And let's say the radius is, I don't know, let's go back to black. Let's say it is 3 inches. Okay, alright, remember surface area equals 4 pi r squared. And you don't have to have this memorized, right? This is on the GED formula sheet. You just have to know what all these letters mean, okay? Now this is the radius, right? Because the radius starts in the middle and goes to an edge, right? So I've already been given the radius, okay? So 4 times 3.14 times 3 times 3. Okay, now you can put the 3 squared into your calculator, but my phone doesn't do that so well. Alright, so I can throw that into my calculator, and I get 4 times 3 point, whoops, try this again, 3.14 times 3 times 3. Okay, and that equals 113.04. Wrong thing, here we go. 113 point, was it 04? See, I'm already forgetting. Let's see. Yes, okay. And that is inches squared. Okay, but this is the surface area for a whole sphere. And I only have half a sphere, okay? Right? I only had half a sphere, right? So I need to divide this by 2. Right? Back to the calculator, divided by 2. And that equals 56.52. 56.52. But I'm not done, because I have found the surface area of this right here, all the ball, okay, the ball part, the roundy part. What I haven't found is because it's cut in half, let's pick a different color, it also has this top section, okay? Now, typically a sphere doesn't have that top section, but when it's cut in half, now it does have a top section, really. So normally we use this, and that gives us the surface area of the whole ball, right? But with half a ball, we have half of this, right? We divided it by 2. But then we end up with this area too. We need to find the area of that circle, okay? And how do we find the area of a circle? Well, if you look on your GED formula sheet, area equals pi r squared, right? Pi r squared. That's supposed to be an r, not a v. R squared, okay? So radius is still 3 inches. So I'm going to add onto here 3.14 times 3 times 3. And that's getting really messy, so I'm going to go ahead and erase that. 56.52 plus, remember, area equals pi r squared. Our r was 3 plus 3.14 times 3 times 3. Okay, that's that squared, that r squared. Okay, so let's throw that into our calculator. Times 3 times 3, and that gives me 28.26. Alright, so 56.52 plus 28 point, what did I say that was? 26. Alright, I'm going to add 56.62, now I can't remember the numbers, 0.52, see I'm mixing everything up, 0.52, 52 plus, what's our other number? 28.26, right? 28.26, and that gives me 84.78. 84.78, that is very messy. I believe we were inches squared, okay? So, when we have a whole sphere, right, we can use, surface area equals 4 pi r squared, okay? If we have half that sphere, right, half the sphere, then we have to do that 4 pi r squared, then we divide it by 2, and then we have to add on to that, right, that top section. So we have half a circle. This is half the sphere. That's half the sphere, right? And then we have to do that circle, which is, back to black, pi r squared. Okay, so if you end up with half a sphere, because we have some of these in our workbook, it's a whole extra step, right? All right, so that's how we do those.